June is National Microchipping Month, emphasizing the importance of getting your pets chipped to keep them protected and ultimately returned if they get out or get lost. We know 4th of July is coming up and pets can get easily spooked, so pets with microchips far more likely to be reunited with their owners if they do get lost. Brett the vet is live in the house to help us better understand the importance of the process and having it done if you haven't done so already. So let's talk about just how important it is to do this.
I like microchips. They're a permanent form of identification for your dog.
Yes.
That being said, there's a couple things you really have to do to make sure they're working properly for you.
Okay.
Which is not just to put it in the dog, but you have to register it and keep your information updated, your cell phone, your emails, your addresses when you move, and keep that information updated with the register.
Which I thought, this is it. This is the
it.
microchip, this little tiny thing. And so how easy is it to administer or get your animal microchip just with this poke?
Yeah, stick your arm out and I'll show you.
Oh gosh. Oh, my husband would love that.
It's a rather large needle.
Right, it looks frightening.
With the proper technique, it's over before you know it.
Okay.
Just insert, plunge the needle, hold it, and it's in there. It's a rice-sized grain of like a microchip little reader the size of a piece of rice. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and we know that people love the little dog bone tags, and that's great. Now you can customize collars, but as you said, this is that permanent security and peace of mind that you need. And how often are pets getting out when we talk about 4th of July celebrations? And
all the time this time of year, and when it's really hot, they're running loose, they can overheat, and that's really dangerous. This time of year, you might have a service provider in your backyard, leave the gate open, fixing your pool or whatever. And we actually have this a lot where in our neighborhood, in my practice, people bring a dog in, and there's nothing better when you scan the chip
and it turns up
and
an
call,
ID.
Yeah, and you've got a phone number, you can reunite that pet quickly. It's a little disappointing when you have the chip number, but it's not registered, so you really don't. It's harder to find that owner, but it does help.
It does help. Okay, because as you said, if you can microchip them, but it's the registering part that pet owners really need to make sure is, and especially if you're moving or you're mobile or you're out of town all summer long.
Update that information.
Okay.
And a lot of people think that these are what are called passive microchips.
Sure.
They're not active, meaning this is kind of like a barcode on a product, like a can of beans or something that you scan.
Okay.
It's not going to track your dog and you can watch it on your phone.
Right, it's not a geo tracker.
Yeah, that doesn't exist except on collars, and those can come off. So this is permanent, and we have very few problems with them. Occasionally they'll migrate, but very, very, very few problems.
And so in situations where people might say, well, I can't afford it, let's talk about the average cost of doing this service for not only yourself, but your animal especially.
These have become very affordable, very affordable, and it's definitely worth doing. The shelter organizations, rescue organizations have very cost-conscious microchips, some as little as $10 or $15, $20 now.
Okay, so very reasonable.
Yeah, yep. So
especially when it comes to getting your pet home safely.
That's right, $20 to $50 for a permanent form of ID. And I think the other nice thing, it used to be that they charged you every year to keep the register updated, but I think that's since gone.
Kind of, okay, that's dissipated just a bit. I thought this was fascinating. I was wondering myself about the scanners, and it doesn't actually punch up your personal information, but it's kind of a VIN number for your animal.
That's right, it's a VIN number, and you put it in the Google, so to speak.
And put it in the Google.
Put her in the Google, and it'll tell you what manufacturer the chip is registered, and then you go to that website of the manufacturer, and you put that information in, and it can tell you who the owners, or you call that company and they can give you or reunite the owner with the pet.
Okay.
And it's also, the standards are now, there's ISO standards, meaning all microchip, there's several manufacturers, this is just one of them.
Sure.
But all the manufacturers now, there's a universal scanner like this one that will read all chips, versus one of the older ones.
Or the more specific types of brands.
No ID found, it won't read it. So, if you have one of these, and you're on my side of the industry, you need.
Oh, it's Android versus Apple in the microchip world.
That's right.
I love it. Okay.